Hello Aries, welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Aries is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Please hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. It is totally free. It doesn't cost you anything. If there's anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Aries, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And we start with an Ace of Swords, clarity, a clear mind, okay? Free of doubts, free of confusion. This is really a certainty about something. This is kind of like receiving the answer in a flash, in a light bulb on the top of your head, right? That's really good. We're going to put that card into some context. What do we need clarity about? And what is this clarity going to help us with, okay? This kind of, here's the Hierophant. That's interesting. It seems like there is perhaps some relationship that you're in with a larger body of people. It could be an institution of some kind, right? There's something going on with your work kind of group, family group could be, or it could be like a school. It could be your university classmates or a particular person. We're going to find out a little bit more. We've got the Eight of Wands down here too. We've got the Princess of Cups. We've got the Prince of Wands and the Ace of Wands. I feel like there is some sort of clarity that you're looking for in regards to your future, because here we see the clarity here with the Ace of Swords, then the Hierophant, then an Ace of Wands. It's almost as if there's this clarity that we are receiving, and maybe the Hierophant is representing your spirit guides. Maybe this is a consultation with a higher authority, right? In this larger context that you're in, which, seeing these two cards could be a family thing, but I feel like you're getting the answers that you need in order to make the decision, to take the next step somewhere, okay? We have the Five of Cups, Nine of Pentacles. We have the World or Universe card, and we have a Three of Swords. The Three of Swords at the end is telling me that this is some place that you've been before. This is a scenario that you're familiar with. The Three of Swords at the end also tells me that we do need to kind of stop living in some aspect of our past, that there is some sort of memory that we have to let go of. All right, let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. And we're going to set it down over here. We're going to put Tiny Bob Ross right there on top. Happy little Bob. And we're not going to look at that card until the very end, so you do have to stick around. And that card will tie everything together. It'll give us our confirmation. If at any point during the reading you feel like you know what that card is, I want you to put your prediction down in the comments. We can do it together. We can make it a group exercise. All right. So looking around the room here, we've only got these two major arcana energies, and these are very interesting. They're both earth energies. This is a fixed earth energy, right? This is kind of a Taurus energy. It's the Hierophant card, and that is kind of like an appeal to an authority. It's almost, it really could be that there's someone in your life or some institution or some principle, some dogma, some doctrine somewhere that's telling you, no, you can't do that, right? And what we're really looking for is freedom. We don't want to be hemmed in by restrictions. So we're getting clarity about something that is going to, feels like go against the grain, right? You're doing something innovative. You're doing something that maybe tradition says, no, that's not the right way to do it, right? Could be the tradition of a family, could be the tradition of your school or your workplace, right? You're trying to develop new procedures, new techniques, new methods, and all the powers that be, your boss, manager at work, they're saying, nope, that's not how we do things here, right? But you're finding the inspiration, you're finding the will and the clarity to kind of do it anyway, right? So I feel like this is really something that is, you're taking this mental, kind of intellectual inner certainty, and you're expressing it through action. And it's time for action. And this is really, I feel like with this trifecta of fire energy here, you've really got the great idea. You've got like the next best thing. And of course, there is the Hierophant that is trying to, impede that progress. It's kind of, the Hierophant doesn't like progress. The Hierophant likes things to be the way they've always been. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's a pretty good aphorism, but then there's no innovation, right? Then nothing can progress, nothing can evolve, nothing can get better and better. If we just say, well, it's working, so why am I going to try anything new? That really hems us in, that really closes things off. And what we want really is wide open space, right? This universe card, the world, this maybe is something you're doing that's going to change the world. I think you saw it in a dream. We've got the Princess of Cups back here. I feel like this is really a way for you to manifest your dream on Earth. Yeah. And it could be, this might not be a work thing, might not be a school thing. It could be just society, the world in general. You're doing something that is going outside of the normal, outside of tradition. Yeah, you're following your dream. And the Ace of Swords that we see here, this is the clarity. This might even be the clarity that comes from not asking any more questions. It's kind of like I'm done trying to convince people. I'm just going to do it and show them, right? And that's maybe the better way to do it, right? I'm not going to try to tell you. Let me show you. And that's the difference between the Ace of Swords and the Ace of Wands. And we see that the way forward is this fire. The fire is this wave of creative energy that's pushing your life forward. And this could be primarily a spiritual thing for you. The Hierophant is whatever is blocking your progress. It's the temptation, it's the world, it's yourself even, trying to convince you that things are fine the way they are, But you've got this fire energy that is pushing you forward. And the Eight of Wands at the bottom here, this is starting to feel like there's a little bit of this anxiety. It's just we're getting frustrated trying to maybe trying to explain things or trying to communicate. We're getting frustrated asking the questions. And maybe we have to, in a way, we have to assume that we already know the answer. And if we take that idea with the Ace and with the Hierophant, this is the student approaching the master with the questions. And maybe the master gives some kind of cryptic answers, like a Zen koan or something. And it's not an intellectual exercise. It's not something that you got to get out your scratch paper and pencil and try to calculate it. It's something that you just have to let it sink in, and you have to absorb it, and you have to feel it, right? So there's no need to really figure anything out. It's kind of a realization. And maybe this is the realization that the best way for you to make progress or to continue to evolve your life in the way that you wish is by doing it, rather than by thinking about it or talking about it or trying to explain it, or even through planning it out. Okay, because we see that this is something that has kind of started and stopped before, because we've got the Five of Cups down here, we've got the Three of Swords up there. I feel like you know what disappointment feels like. You've been there before. We've tried to manifest our dream before, and maybe we've got stuck at this. Maybe this is that Zen koan. Maybe this is that puzzle or that blockage, and last time we tried, we got here, we didn't get past this. And that might be what this Three of Swords is. The memory of when it didn't work, and now it's kind of like, it's like Neo in the Matrix. Now we're doing it again, and we've got to do something different. Now we've got to find the way to really get through it. And maybe this is the way. It's just the fire energy. It's time for action. It's time for creativity. It's time for you to really Not ask for permission, ask for forgiveness. You're right, that old saying. But this is definitely something that you've been feeling in your heart. This is something that you want, right? It's a manifestation of your dream. It could be related to business or school or family or spirituality or anything like this. Creativity. With the Five of Cups here in your general energy, this is something that you do not want to live without, right? This is something that is going to help you build the kind of life that you want. And that leads us into the Nine of Pentacles. That card's all about gain. That card's all about increase. That card is about an ongoing process of living. And this card's in the position of your environment. So between these two, and these two cards are intimately connected, what's down below and what's kind of outside of us, there's anxiety here with this fire energy that's within you that is looking for a place to go. And where it wants to go is the 9. It wants to start building. It's just kind of like, let's stop planning this project. Just let me start hammering the boards together and building it, because the 8 of Wands is usually about this urge to action that takes a step forward, takes a step back. Takes 2 steps forward, takes 2 steps back. It's being held back. It's being restrained or restricted. It's being kept in a little box and just saying, not yet, not yet, not yet. So this anxiety builds up, right? We could call it excitement. The 9 of Pentacles is us now out in the environment doing the work, taking steps toward our goal. And that is where all of the magic is. That's where all of the fun is in the journey, taking steps toward that goal. And the goal really, I don't know that you have a final outcome that you're looking for because of this universe card. It feels like your goal is very open-ended. It feels as if it really is just the journey of expressing yourself that is where all the meaning and value is, not in some far-out destination that you'll arrive at somewhere. It's in the flow of energy. It's you being able to be yourself and to create your world the way you wish, right? So I feel that there is, we're kind of bypassing some other energy right now. You're going like around somebody or above somebody's head, You have a great idea at work and your direct supervisor doesn't want you to do anything, just says no. Well, that's, then you maybe have to go to their boss and say, look at this idea that I have and I'm going to start doing it. Because I feel like you have a certainty that this is the way, that this is something very special. And just because your direct supervisor, for an example, doesn't understand it, doesn't feel it, doesn't want it, you're not giving up. You're not stopping there. So I feel like this is a big change that's happening in your life and in this larger institution that you're in, whether it's a church, temple, lodge, order, whether it's a workplace, a school, whether it's a family situation, could be a group of friends. I feel like you are trying to change the direction of something. You're trying to, you're in the middle of trying to turn a tanker and nobody else is helping you, right? Nobody, the captain is just saying, no, we're not doing that. We can use any kind of example that you want, but I feel as if this is a big change of course. It's a big shift in directions for you. And I feel like this is your fate. I feel like this is the manifestation of your dream. This is something that you maybe literally are having dreams about, And it could be something simple as, changing, holiday plans, or, changing internet providers, or, something very, very, very simple and basic, right? But it has such tremendous meaning for you. So, obviously, I think it's something more significant than that. But it's something you truly believe in, And it could be that you're trying to change the course of the direction of, the family energy, or a group of you at school or a group of you at work or something like that. But there's some authority that's kind of saying, no, we're not going to do that, right? The Prince of Wands up here at the top. This is your commitment to this idea. I feel like you're inspired by this energy and there's really nothing stopping you. Okay. And I feel what's going on now is I feel that you're realizing the shift that needs to take place between the air and the fire. They're both active cards. They're both active, but one is I want to say one is less real than the other, because I feel like the fire energy is the will to action. This might be the mental clarity. This might be even, having all the answers, having the certainty, having the conviction. But we need to convert that into like actual kinetic energy, And I think that's what the fire here is representing, this idea that these changes are finally taking place is because there's a shift in you. Because you realize that not everybody is going to understand, not everybody's going to agree with you. And this could really be a situation that you're turning your own tanker, you're redirecting your own life. And for whatever reason, we're trying to share that or communicate that to others, friends, family, loved ones, you know what I mean? And we're realizing now that that might be a very futile effort. And what's really going to serve you is to turn this into action. Again, we've got this fire, this wave of fire, and it feels like this is the rush that's going forward. This is the big change, okay? And I feel like this is finally happening now. Your efforts are starting to progress. The Nine of Pentacles is the visible sign of progress. It means that kinetic energy is now actually moving stuff. Right now it's connecting with things and stuff is happening. Changes are being seen. You're able to observe. This is the measurable, visible sign of progress for whatever you're doing. Okay. And I do think with the Three of Swords, we want to go back to this for a second. I do think that there is a release of this past energy. And it could be the past failure of this thing where you tried to do this before and it didn't work. You got to let that go. Right? You understand why it didn't work. The memories are a good thing. And the Three of Swords is a good card. It has its bad days, but it's a good card, right? Because it's the memory. It's us being able to relive a situation, put ourselves right back in that situation, observe the details, feel the feelings, and then hopefully return back to the present with that clarity, that wisdom, that knowledge, right? Those details and those feelings, return back to the present in order to use that experience and that information right now, currently, to make progress. Rather than we could get stuck here. That's the problem. Okay? So once we are done with this past situation and we've learned the lesson, we let it go. Right? We let it go. It's still going to be a memory. It's still going to be part of you. But it's not holding us back. It's not like fly paper that we just get stuck to, and now that's just our life now, right? So we have to let that go. I think that's why this card is at the end, because it's kind of saying over here, at least on the path of the serpent, you had this disappointment before. Learn the lessons of it, right? Take the wisdom, the teaching, take the lesson from that experience, but then let that experience go. Let it be behind you as we are making progress forward. Now, let's look at that mystery card. Whoop. All right, Bob Ross. Okay, I want to see, obviously, some more water energy. We have this trifecta of fire. Let's have a trifecta of water. Let's have one more water card, maybe a 9 or a 10 of cups, yeah. If you have a prediction, put it down in the comments. Well, it's a 5 of Swords. I feel like this is the process right now. This is the shift. This is the change that we have to focus on right now, which to me feels like, we have 1, we have 3, we have 5. Okay. So they are all odd numbers. And see, I was hoping for the trifecta of water, but we had the trifecta of fire. Maybe we needed the trifecta of air to show the transformation. Because we're in this intellectual kind of battle, or this communication battle, right? It's more of a mental thing. It's a mind thing. So we think back to the past situation that we were in that is very much like this current one, and we learn the lessons. What is the lesson? Maybe this is the past, right? The 5 of Swords here, the mystery card. Maybe that's the past. And then the 3 is us learning the lessons from that past and bringing back the clarity, the wisdom, in order to then shift into our fire mode and start making this progress here with that 9, right? So this might be the path. It might be going from 5 to 3 to the ace. And the ace then is what becomes the fire, the Ace of Wands, and pushes us forward. But in order to understand what we have to do now, we have to understand what happened in the past, why it happened, what went wrong, what we did wrong, what was the lesson there that can apply to your situation right now, whatever that situation is. Okay? I think that's the meaning of this 5 of Swords right now. Now, we're going to do an extended reading as well. If you want to stick around, there's a link up here. There's a link down below. New readings for Aries every Monday and Friday, 6 a.m. Chicago time, but I'm here every day. You can come see me again tomorrow. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is totally free, does not cost you anything. And leave a comment for me. Let me know where in the world you are watching from. I want you to know that you are the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you, and we're all in this together.